then when it got down there and it started stabilizing and it formed those patterns in Bitcoin, and that was like 2019. And then COVID. That it would. I kept on saying myself to my wife, I was like, there has to be an event if we're going to go cashless, because I've got friends in China and Hong Kong that are, they're completely cashless in China and Vietnam, Southeast Asia, and it's like it was going to come, and people are talking about it, like there's going to be something, there's going to be an event, and this is it. And so look at the overall, if you want to look at the trend of Mitch, you had a great chart up tonight of the stream earlier of the market, of the total crypto market cap at 2 trillion. It was a really nice, I thought it was a nice rising wedge, possible canary pattern. We'll talk about that in a second. That I'm going to get my programmer to program the canary, and I'm going to see if it works. Right. Well, that's actually, it's more of a target pattern, I think, and I think there's certain triggers we can look for. I've been looking at it where it might not be a great reversal pattern, but there is something going on there when the breakout happens above the 113, and we were kind of joking around about that, but when it breaks above the 113, it really accelerate to a 2618314, which we've seen in this environment. I think it'll get there. I think, listen, the futures have slowed down this market, especially the Ethereum futures coming online. Definitely put some pressure on this not going parabolic now, but that's fine. They're not going to be able to stop this, and I think that the money flow, as long as that chart continues up, that market cap chart, we're clearly going to go to 10 trillion on the crypto market cap. Don't you agree, Mitch?
Hey, Mitch, you're muted.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Sorry, I mute differently on Patreon night because I'm mute like universally when I do it. So it's different because Discord and OBS. Anyway, I mean, you'd think eventually. I don't know what is going to stop it now. You broke the 1 trillion mark, and when you broke the 1 trillion mark, let's see here, for the first time ever, it was January 7th, okay? So it took how long to get to 1 trillion, and then within, let's see, well, did we ever hit it? We didn't actually hit it, did we? We were just like so close. So pretty much in 89 days after hitting 1 trillion, you see 2 trillion. So, I mean, it's that psychological breakout point. And didn't Kathy Woods talk about she would get behind a Bitcoin or crypto ETF if it ever got above $2 trillion market cap? I remember her saying something about that, but
yeah, you're right.
What's up? You're really quiet.
Grayscale just came out saying that they want to eventually convert their GBTC into an ETF. So right now it's a trust, and I think that one of the first candidates from the Winklevi have been working on that for a long time.
Here we go. My audio was not good. Run PCZ. Are we gonna do a rap video about harmonics? Is that what y'all want? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think, listen, this is, we're seeing some of the altcoins that I like, and one of the patterns we've seen, something I talked about last week, things like OMG, KNC, they did a big move up, then they consolidate back down with nice patterns. They do another wave. Binance coin that's leading the pack.
oh
As long
yeah,
as
such an
Binance coin
outperformer,
is
man.
running, yeah, that's going to be as much of a leader as Bitcoin.
Data
And that,
was doing that too.
yeah, and there's still I have to look at what the valuation is relative to what Coinbase will come out at, but I mean, BNB, that coin might be worth a lot more than it is today if Coinbase comes out and gets oversubscribed. So, still wait for a pattern on it, but
Man, it's
fundamentally,
showed patterns the whole way up, man. BNB's just like, I don't know, it's something about, I feel like just Binance and stuff, South Koreans really, really respect the TA. Like, I don't know what it is, man, but it's all these coins that, there's all this data, but then they get listed to Binance. And then like Ocean or like GRT or whatever, just recently, like Cake, they're the market makers, right? They draw the pattern, they Bob Ross it, and then they long it, and then we just take advantage of what they paint. It just keeps happening, and so that's why I love Binance, their exchange anyway, because it's all technical, just a feeling. So
happy cloud.
So, as we talk about like other
fake beat.
foreign entities and their adoption with cashless and cryptos overall, what's your take on the, like, we've had several kind of sidebar conversations in the chat the last 2 days, I think, about different conversations around banning cryptocurrency, banning Bitcoin. What's your take on that actually being a possibility and how that would affect everything?
I don't think they've got a pretty favorable SEC chairman in there. They've already classified Bitcoin and Ethereum as non-security entities, so I don't think I'm going to go back and reclassify it. I think the Ripple thing was completely overblown, and you're seeing that in the price action, and that really coiled up. That XRP was just coiled, and it's still going to go. I mean, technically, you look at that. I don't have favorites. I just look at the charts, and I think, first of all, the government really created this mess. And I'm not going to go into it too deep, but it goes way back. And they have been printing money to the point where now the amount of money they need to service everything, you can't even physically print it, create it. They have to go digital now. They have the technologies. You look at coins like VE Chain. That thing, I couldn't get that because I wasn't on Binance, but that's I think that's an example of one where the blockchain technology really is gonna work. And so you're in the infancy. You're at the point relative to like where Amazon was at $100 a share, quite frankly. So the crypto space is not. I don't think they're gonna ban it. I don't think I think the amount of money that's already committed and continues to be committed is unstoppable. But in that environment, we still want to look for corrections and patterns, and that are, when the market's down, it's a buying opportunity, but not chase it. At least, really, for me, I think it's been pretty favorable. Like, you see the technical support, the buying support continues to be there in the major coins. Again, Binance Coin is a great example of a whole financial system that's been created around that coin. multi-billion-dollar. What's the market cap on that now? Like 100 billion or something ridiculous? I don't see them. The crypto space.
You said Binance's market cap?
Yeah.
63.7 billion, which is, I think, maybe a little bit over Nvidia now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of power. And they're not, and the technology they have for the masses. I mean, we're talking, billions and billions of people that need this, that are, to process these transactions is going to be unstoppable. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of parallels to the whole .com cycle, and that was that .com cycle was phenomenal. I was living in Los Gatos in 1995, and it was when it was for I don't know, just for like 6 months or so, and trying to decide if I'd move there, and I didn't. Stupid, but
I meant to say AMD, not Nvidia. Nvidia is like 300 billion.
Yeah,
AMD used to be like 60, but it's ballooned like to 40. It's like over 100. AMD is now over $100 billion market cap. So
yeah, and I think they've got their whole ecosystem. And this was like my personal experience a lot with following all the companies, the .com companies, like Amazon developing its whole shopping system network that ended up taking over. These other ones are doing it. So, and it's there. You can't stop it. And then the people behind it, they've printed so much money. So guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos have $100 billion, where a couple billion just to, for Elon Musk to throw a billion or two into Dogecoin as a joke.
yeah, and you can see the base
and as a currency
on the charts.
Yeah. And he has nothing to lose. And the Doge, and so Dogecoin, even though it's just some stupid thing to transact electronically, there's more than enough money out there for people to create financial ecosystems that replace banks. No doubt.
So, how does that translate, though, to not only us as Americans, but also a global economy to make these transactions to people who don't have the opportunities to even execute electronic transactions?
In much the same way that second and third world countries are left behind because they don't have the same infrastructure and resources, we have the advantage. And that's a harsh thing to say, but I lived in Brazil
I think
for a few
Elon
years, and I saw it firsthand.
Starlink.
Well, this also brings these people, gives them the ability to get on to a banking network of sorts, because a lot of these places, like third world countries, these villages are getting access to like a single solar panel that they use to charge their phone, and then once they have the phone, they have a digital wallet, they can get connected and essentially bank themselves, whereas before they had nothing.
That will happen, but here we are talking about these coins and these systems that will serve those billions of people. And so that also, for me, shows that it is in the infancy. And those people, we are the early investors in these spaces. And those people, okay, they'll benefit from the technology. But I bet you what'll eventually happen is people will get free phones and have free phones because the companies know they will transact on their networks. And then this all becomes a network fight. Who can get the most people on their network and transact in their local currency, their cryptocurrency, in a lot like they had search engines. in the 90s, way before Google. You had Yahoo, Alta Vista, Lycos, and they're all gone. And then Google came in and kicked their butt. So in the meantime, we're going to have lots of different players that we can invest in, and they're going to go up. I mean, those other search engines that aren't even around anymore, they all did like 50x moves before they crashed.
So that sounds a lot to me like the flip phone days where cell phones were heavily subsidized. Is that kind of what you're referring to?
Yeah, and it's going to probably be some fractional chip technology that's really reduced. They were super cheap, and some it's going to be something that will be, because the cost will be capitalized into the fact that they can finance it. There's going to be, we're all talking about, Mitch is talking about it, I'm talking about it, and a lot of people are talking about the trillions being floated out there and now by the Federal Reserve. And that, in my opinion, that's sets it up to create the digital economy, so that they can have all of that. It's amazing. I mean, we kind of knew it was going there. In the 90s, they're like, yeah, they're not going to be any malls around. And a lot of people were like, no, come on, I don't believe that. There's going to be malls. People are going to still want to shop. I mean, traders who traded some of those stocks, older guys, were like, yeah, women will still want to go to the mall and shop. And look what happened. So the crypto seems to be on that kind of cycle too. Yeah. We'll have a bump probably in a year, 2 years, and maybe in 2 or 3 years we have a major correction. Then the longer 10, 20-year cycle, yeesh. Yeah, you think of it as Google at the IPO in 05 or 04, 03 even. And then, Amazon at 100, Apple at $10, literally. When Bill Gates gave him $100 million to stay in business. Many people don't remember that. That was 2004. So these things move.
Good God, I was like a junior in high school. It's crazy.
Yeah, look, this is the time though. I mean, these are the best markets I've ever seen in terms of what can participate in, and what the average person who is into it. Yeah. That's, and I think it's like, if you get into it now, you give yourself the opportunity. If you're not into it, I think you are going to miss out on a big opportunity.
I feel like if you weren't participating in the last year, you did miss out on a ridiculous opportunity, right?
Oh, you said too much money this past year.
No, I mean, like, this was a multi-generational move, right? I mean, there had never been anything like the recovery since 1936 or whatever, 1929, 1936, or something like that. It was, it's just, the recovery was.
There's a dude that was just listening to talk about how crazy it is to see one or two, let alone the 4 parabolic uptrends we've seen on Bitcoin and log scale. Like I said, seeing that 4 times on one chart and one asset is unheard of.
Yeah, it's tulip mania times 4 now, right? Is that what it is?
I've said to my wife several times the last month, I wish I would have gotten involved in the market overall a year ago. I had a friend who got me to finally open up an account July. I had no idea what I was doing then, and it really was an opportunity missed. I see it now and I feel bad for my friends who still aren't there yet.
But I don't get that mentality because like while we're here, I mean, I know Scott's here. He was never here because of Bitcoin, and I wasn't here for Bitcoin either initially. This movement came along, but the charts are the opportunity, like on any market, traditional market. So it's like if you were participating in any markets, oh yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, all right, let's keep our eyes on that. I mean, it's your future, So I don't know. You say I should have been participating this last year, but it's like, man, there's always opportunity all over the markets, right? Not just crypto.
I mean, to piggyback on that, like Mitch, how do you feel about buying in these markets that are overly bought?
Are you talking about like stocks or?
No, crypto.
Well, it's like, if they're in really true uptrends, then you take your shot, right? Like look at HBAR. All right, it's in a really big uptrend. Oh my God, there were so many opportunities over and over and over again, right? And then they base out and then they become low risk areas to where it's like, hey, I don't know if the uptrend's going to continue here. I have no idea, but I do know for a fact, based on looking left, this is a pretty low risk area to take a long. Right, and then it runs up and it'll hit 42 cents would be the target for sure on a trade like HBAR. And I'm just waiting now. You just sit and you wait, and that is right. We talk about the trend itself is the book, and the trade itself is the chapter in the book. So when the chapter is complete, the book could continue, right, where it keeps on marking up, and eventually it create another base. It'll of buying and selling a range, and you can trade it. So, and that's different though than being long-term long on an asset like HBAR, like where you could have and you'd be killing it. But at the same time, you can dip your toes into this one. It runs up, you take profit. Oh my God! At the same time, it's hitting profit, taking levels. The whole market starts reversing. Okay, well, let's wait for new opportunities. So, you just like, and also there have been just countless times where there's always one or another that's setting up. It hasn't taken off yet, right? Like VeChain took off like a long time ago from its Wyckoff accumulation range, right? But what just happened? What asset that everyone knows about had been doing that and finally took off? XRP, right? I mean, so you could have taken capital from one of the other runs and put it into XRP like this, right? I mean, it's the range, and it was at the end of the accumulation range, and look where it's gone. It's at $1.02 right now. So there's always opportunities, even in this market, it seems like, right? If you zoom out and you go to the weekly and the daily.
Yeah, no, I don't mean it from the perspective of there won't be another opportunity. I mean it purely from the perspective of there's been so many opportunities the last 12 months, like since the COVID crash. Since they started the money printer and made 10 more of them, like there's just been so many opportunities abundant to take a profit at the first profit-taking mark and then move that into something else and then just continually create more and more exponential profits. Like if you look back historically, the last 12 months have been the opportunity of a generation, like you guys have been saying.
Multi-generations. Technically, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like almost to the point where sometimes it kind of, I don't want to say it keeps me from sleeping at night, but it kind of does because it's very reminiscent of like the Roman Empire, the Weimar Republic, the things where you just keep hearing where people print money to the point where the people think that they're getting rich, but in reality, inflation is eating them alive.
You're thinking about it with like a different. I mean, you're looking at it from perspective of our little small, very, very small community where we're doing the right things, right? Most people, like 95, 98, 99% of people are not doing what our community is doing, like looking at the charts in the markets the way we are, like reasonably. Yeah, dude. So it's just kind of like, I think, right? Does anyone want to like back me up on that? Like it seems obvious here, like, oh yeah, because we're applying the right things, but
if everybody traded the way that we do, then we wouldn't have the market conditions that we have.
Exactly. We wouldn't have the ability to leverage the greater fool principle, right? Which is, the common principle where people are like, hey, there's always the greater fool in the market economy.
Who's the last one to sell?
And 45.
Yeah, also have to realize, guys, that there's massive allocation that has to occur in large sums of money from pensions and even federal government funds that have trillions of dollars. What's the teachers pension fund, the CalPERS? They have $1 trillion under management, and when these people move into the market, they don't care about the overpaying, and that's where we as little fish can come in and hit them for 10, 20, 50, whatever, for sizable money that's sizable for us, life-changing for us. For them, and for the amount of money that flows through these markets, it's nothing. And that's, for me, the small fish kind of perspective of realizing that massive allocation, they need to move it into these assets. They do it rather inefficiently. That is our advantage.
Well, and I think we've got a prime example of what happened when the mortgage became an investment vehicle for those same institutions. They're like, oh, we can perceive it as somewhat safe because its volatility is lower, and so then they pile into that, and then 30, 35 years later, it gets leveraged to basically print money for all the top banks, and then sends the world economy into a tailspin. I think we're about to see something nearly that disastrous, but also that opportunistic for us soon.
Well, I think if you relatively look at, say, 1929 as the worst case scenario, okay, and we went through that in the NASDAQ crash and the dot-com crash, where that was 88%, 87% correction. Then ended up being a huge monster opportunity. I think overall, you always have to have the opportunity mindset. There is an opportunity if you're patient with it. The long-term effects of what's going on. Listen, we've been considering that for decades. Literally have those kind of thoughts. Sometimes maybe they're counterproductive because you think, oh well, maybe something will happen. When we look at the charts, and that's why the charts tell the story. You look at like 100-year chart or a 50-year chart, the trend is up, and it's only the amount of money, the amount of people on the planet, the amount of economic activity is only going to increase over time. So that's just within that whole large perspective of, okay, yeah, are they bankrupting the system? Certain ways, yes, but they're not. It's not going to. I think the manifestation of the bad things they're doing is cryptocurrency. They gave the public enough money to create alternative systems, and that's where we are.
Agreed. And they also gave the motivation, right? There's a motivation there to create those alternative systems because the inherent inefficiency of the current systems that exist, and literally the lack of accountability and the lack of openness and the lack of auditability.
Yeah, it's something that has been exposed recently in recent decades that they were able to get away with for a very long time. Now, just the interconnection of investment and business, the money is going to flow. It's not going to respect any borders. And with the crypto space, that's going to create a severe challenge to a lot of banks and existing payment systems where if they don't get on board, they're going to end up being like the malls of today. They're going to be out of business.
Yeah, it's a shift that's going to be monumental. I mean, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I mean, the transfer of wealth that will occur will be something like we haven't seen in our lifetimes.
I don't know, the past year, that's a big chunk of it's already happened.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would argue that it's already happened for sure.
Yep.
well, yeah, it's partially happened. I mean, we're starting to see the effects of it. Just as a quick aside,
What side of the K you on? You on the
Yeah,
top
exactly.
or the bottom?
This is a lot like Y2K and how when Y2K was coming about, it really accelerated a lot of investment in technology to make sure the systems were upgraded. But this has done it where it's on a more permanent level. Like they were just trying to fix things so systems wouldn't crash at the new century. But this now is like, we're done. We're not going back. We will be cashless by the end of this decade in this country. Holding cash in your wallet will be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to avoid that level of transition. I mean, going back to, sort of the wealth transition and what people say is not happening. Like Yellen's like, oh, inflation doesn't exist. It's not happening. Well, to just throw an aside out there, the wife and I were getting ready to build a house. Prices increased 30% in the last 18 months. They couldn't build during COVID because none of the workers would build. So it's getting weirder and weirder, and I think it's just going to accelerate.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, and again, it is really happening down here in Miami. Downtown apartments have doubled from $500,000 to $1 million minimum. And then you have major investment firms buying entire office buildings. So the effect is going to be huge. What's that?
Yeah, Scott, you got to join famous Jameis and me up here in Tampa.
Oh, my brother's he's goes there all the time. So yeah, maybe soon for sure. I think Mitch and I gotta have to figure out something, do a meetup, or once we get past things a little bit further.
Yeah,
it'll be great. But we it's right now though. Really right now, I don't want to go anywhere because I still want to. I think we are ramping for a very interesting summer. We see this in the NASDAQ today, just massively strong. S&P 500's like nonstop. I mean, you really got to start looking at much higher possibilities for S&P. And I mean, come on, S&P 5,000.
Yo, look at it, man. Look at this weekly chart. It's so stupid. And look at all the divergence. Didn't matter, dude. Too bullish.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just like, okay.
Back to the request I submitted. It was either yesterday or the day before for Dell. Like, that request was like, hey, this is interesting because the previous ICE line before they went private was like 105, and we're ready to hit on that. I think we're going to blow past that because just the insane amount of demand for work from home is not tapering off. From some of the insights I have, just by what I hear, is like things are getting stronger for demand. Like, it's bananas the amount of demand out there. You can, side note, anybody watching this stream that wants a graphics card, Dell.com outlet, you can find deals on there for 3070s, 3080s, and 3090s in a PC, and you'll spend $2, $4, $5, $6, $1,000 more than that on Amazon. So just heads up.
Yeah, good luck finding an EVGA 3090.
Yeah, there was one on the site today for $3,600, and they're going on Amazon for that.
Work from home is going to consume everything. It's so much cheaper for companies. Like, my company opened a virtual office just because it saves them. They figured $15,000 to $30,000 a year per employee.
Yep. Third Eye, did you hear what CBRE and Deutsche Bank and all those guys are doing?
Even folks.
Even. So what they're doing is they've got some super powerful lobbies, and they're lobbying the government to place a privilege tax for those of us that are, quotes, air quotes, privileged to work at home, so that we'd have to pay an additional tax because we have to work at home.
There's an Alabama privilege tax. I pay $100 a year to conduct a business in Alabama. So
privilege tax? Working from home? I work from home. What is this?
It's being discussed. Deutsche Bank. There was an article on it in March, I believe. But it's a very, very interesting thing, and they're thinking about trying to lobby for it as a percentage of income, I think was the article said. I could be wrong there. I don't remember it exactly, but that's just something I would keep in mind, because I will build an office and be like, oh, that's my office. I don't have to pay that tax.
If it's $100, I mean, come on.
Well, if it's $100, cool. But if it's a percentage of income, they're going to end up screwing that up too.
Well, it's Deutsche Bank, right? Come on. Okay.
Well, it's Deutsche Bank and CBRE, right? CB Richard Ellis, which is CBRE, is the largest commercial real estate holder on the planet. That's the thing that's crazy, or in the U.S.
You already give them enough taxes here as it is.
I know, right?
yeah, I don't even want to talk about taxes. I just got done with all of that.
I learned about capital gains tax, and I was somebody who made money on GameStop. Like, I bought at the first dip from 500 to like 44 and sold it at 350. That was fun.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, and capital gains tax accelerates as your
Congrats.
tax bracket goes up.
But I'll share something with you guys. The IRS is so far behind on everything. You just file everything properly. They're just so far. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my account says they don't really know what's going on in a lot of ways.
So I work in networking IT, the infrastructure that our government runs on. So like where I was at when COVID happened, the EBT food stamp system crashed because it's on like tape mainframe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why does the government have to use 20-year-old computer programs? I don't understand.
Harder to hack.
12 Nimitz class supercarriers.
Yeah. And again, think of the technology that was around when the missile silos were built, that exist all over the entire nation.
I don't know if that's still true, but don't those still run on floppy disks like our nukes?
They still run on like 8-inch floppy disks. At last publishing time, which the last article I read on it was last year.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's less hackable, so think of it that way. Like, simplicity sometimes is the key.
True. I mean, that's a fantastic, they're not networked, right? There's a complete air gap system in place, but the fact that the hardware and the software is so specialized, it means that the folks that built it are soon to be no longer around. It's just like when, there was this huge dip in prices for COBOL programmers because nobody needed them. And then around 2000 and since, it's just skyrocketed for people who know that programming language.
Yeah, anybody listening, if you want to make like 150 to 250 a year, learn COBOL.
How do you spell that?
COBOL. COBOL. COBOL.
Well, why aren't people just learning it?
Because it's a pain in the butt program and it's so specialized, and the amount of experience you need to have to be able to prove your worth is, I don't know if it's worth the risk at this point.
It's not even a joke though. Like, my company is paying people that much because we can't find people.
Yeah, but I hear you. Yep, that's true.
So we steal them and we pay them a lot of money because that's all we can do.
It's like vintage cryptography.
So, random thought, and Ninja Girl and I had a discussion on this, and I've talked with a bunch of folks with you guys in Patreon chat about this. Like, Shor's algorithm, when quantum computing reaches the exponential threshold of being able to process enough of Shor's algorithm in a speedy enough manner, like all the current cryptography will have to be redeveloped.
Quantum cryptography.
Right, quantum resistant cryptography, but there's no way to test to see if it actually is resistant to quantum technology, because we don't have the technology, right? It's like a chicken for the egg thing.
So you can use entanglement to encrypt.
Okay. I mean, there is entanglement, but you can't have a value without destroying one side.
Every lock needs a key.
Quantum computing, from what I understand, like a computer that can actually do things simultaneously, like is the broad spec, like top down.
Yeah. So at the simplest method, quantum computing is a computer that can evaluate thousands, possibly millions of permutations of the same problem nearly instantaneously without having to calculate them in order, right?
That's like how they are now. Like,
correct.
A processor doesn't do one or multiple things at once. It does one thing at a time, stupid fast.
Right. In one core, kind of.
Quantum defense will run concurrent, so I think it'll grow at the same rate.
Right. Exactly. It just takes quantum. It's got to reach that threshold where its usability is real.
Yeah, and it's not dangerous.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go to solve the coherence problem.
So far out.
Well, I mean, based on the way technology develops, I mean, we've already broken Moore's law. And
have you guys seen the stuff that the Forbes posted about that Navy patents that got thrown out? Like actual real scientist dude, not fake. It seemed like put like a whole bunch of patents out for some really crazy.
Share that?
Here, let me pull it up because it was like fusion reactors, inertia dampeners, and I believe in the U.S. to have like a patent like that, you have to have a working prototype. And he's like,
yeah. Is that the one where he said he could create a gravitational field using
like they
in a
fixed
torpedo reactor
faster than light travel simply because he's like, so instead of pushing against space time, you have space time push against you.
Right. Well, I mean that's the Alcubierre drive, right? You just create a warped bubble with lower density in front and higher density in the back. And
would that do like the wormhole thing, like where it bends?
Well, no, it's not necessarily a wormhole. It's a field where it dips in front and behind you is the force because it's more dense behind you.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. So here's the.
Can I use a wave pattern to measure that?
Isn't that kind of like what Lazar was talking about? How you're controlling gravity and the craft is falling towards wherever you're aiming.
Yeah, I put the link in Discord.
Yeah, it's like a gravity vacuum in the front. Well, whatever you want.
I just put the Alcubierre drive in.
That's what she
Discord.
said.
Nice.
On paper, it looks good, which all theories end up looking pretty good on paper. But you're going to need a quantum gravity theory first that unifies everything before we can get there.
This guy said he had an inertial dampener, so it's like, wouldn't that fix it all? Because you can go that fast, but you're going to go splat.
You just need like infinite energy to accelerate to that point, though.
Dude, this has fusion reactors, inertial dampeners, and like it's weird. And I would think it was BS, but I'm like, Forbes is kind of okay. What's going on?
Yeah, and I do like the fact that Mitch is pulling up like live trade setups and OXT and stuff on stream, and we're going complete tin hat.
Hey, it's not tin hat; it's aluminum.
Sorry, aluminum. My bad.
Aluminium.
Oh, where's the English guy? Kick him out. No, I'm just kidding.
See, man, my thing is, so like from what I understand, how the army works and the military is, they buy a hammer. Well, that hammer costs $50,000. That money isn't going for the hammer. A lot of that goes into R&D. So like the stuff we have and we show is not the stuff we have. So like I think those UFO sightings is just would you test your equipment against? The best military in the world, U.S. We're just testing our own shit.
Well, I mean,
that's the question, isn't it?
The next 30
or is that the
countries combined.
disinformation?
I mean, it could be the disinformation. Who knows? But Lord, I hope with the money we spend on the military, we got space travel shit next.
Patreon chats on the.
If there is space.
A lot of people in the voice chat.
Yeah, there's a ton. So one thing, Mitch, again, thanks for all you do, man. Thanks for all the hard work. Thanks for all the education. The only reason the wife and I are able to consider building the houses because of the work you put into it.
Hype in the chat.
Dude, that's awesome.
Hype.
Yeah, and Mitch, yacht party. I built a Mitch way away from home room in the house, so you've always got a small apartment in my house.
Oh wow! So it's literally. Are you gonna put a picture of me in the room?
Is it a shrine?
You should do the NFT of me as Napoleon, right? That one.
Put the NFT
Put that
in
up
there.
for real. Yeah.
So I told my parents on the thing of houses because they lost everything back when the economy crashed, so they're not going to retire. So I was like, I'm gonna get you guys a house. So just on houses, one of the reasons I'm doing this is I want to buy my parents' house so my dad can retire. He lost everything in '08. It's like he's gonna be working forever. And I told him if I pay for it, he's gonna have to get a picture of Doge on the wall somewhere. But I think if I do it now, Mitch, I'm gonna get your face and I'm gonna put it just on a big self-portrait there, and he's gonna just have to look at it.
Nothing like that.
Wow. Well, that would be interesting to see. Definitely want to put that in community IRL.
Mitch, you're helping people of all creeds, all races, all genders. It's great.
Yeah, there are only two races here: red people and green people. Okay, buyers and sellers.
He's right.
Man, they all look the same to me. I'm colorblind. I had to change it. Why we got to be red and green?
Black and white, it's fine.
No, red and green works. I'm colorblind and I can see it.
Dude, they look the same shades.
Aren't there different types of colorblinds though?
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just.
What if I'm colorblind? Can I tell the difference?
And
no,
that gets
but
into
someone else
color,
can, I
like,
think.
If you're red
color
and
subjective.
colorblind, just changes to different colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I did. I was
There's
just looking
different types of colorblind.
Through the Matrix.
There is no spoon.
Yeah, I'm colorblind, but I'm gonna get those colorblind goggles, and so I can see what everybody else has been seeing.
See, I took the test to get those, and they said they wouldn't work on me. Like I was too colorblind, or the way mine was.
Yeah, those and chroma glasses are awesome for people who they work for.
What number can you get to in the colorblind book? Do you remember?
No, there's no numbers.
Oh, there's no numbers anymore.
Not for me when I look at them.
Failed, or did I pass the colorblind test?
No, I could get to the number 7, and then that was it.
So, anyone excited about OXT?
Oh, super excited, bro.
It looks like it's gonna go to like $1.50 plus.
It's gonna be so dope.
No, man, this is a parabolic uptrend that hasn't had its last major markup. Like OXT, something's going on. Like there's a huge acceleration of accumulation going. Dude, it's just, and this is it, man. Absorption of the remaining supply at 85 cents. And once it breaks, dude, you just can't come here and be like, well, I didn't even know about it. I had not even thought about it on OXT. What's going on? You know, it's just, this is it. This is what it looks like
Talked about
before.
that on stream, like how many times, Mitch?
I may have missed that. Could I get a TLDR for somebody? For,
I mean,
a
it's
link?
obvious with the supply. Look how many there are. Come on.
How many are there? Is that a fixed supply?
I think it's like 358 million.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I remember a few weeks ago, it was just, you know, the pattern was much less mature. I was like looking at it. It was just one of those crypto breakout charts where you're like, this thing's going, man, anytime. That's when it marked up initially to, you know, its highest peak. I was just trying to make folks aware of it, but it was just one of those charts where it's like, this thing's looking good.
Which
It's looking
one?
Decent. OXT.
Yeah,
I was talking about it a few weeks ago.
Remember that, Matt? That was a few Thursday nights ago.
It's so hard to keep track of them because there's so many mooning.
Yeah, but they're all, I mean, a lot of them are on different paces, which is awesome. So that's why you're part of the Patreon. That's why you're part of a group. So it's like, man, in these market conditions, it's good to have a network of people that are all looking for the same things that we know give us an edge because it's proven, right? And I don't know, man. Like this group, I feel like it has helped me be able to find tons of things, and it's just like, but if I'd have never started it, right? I mean, I'm just like, I started this thing because it was like fun to talk to people about the things I had a passion for, because no one in my real life, my peers, cared about this stuff, and I couldn't make them care. So I was like, I'm gonna find people that care, and no idea what it was gonna turn into, but yeah, I didn't really even think about building it before the next bull cycle. I mean, I guess we talked about it. You know, you can, you know, right when opportunity presents itself, it's too late to prepare. That's so real, right? Because if you don't know how to identify all these bullish variables, right, these structures, you're gonna miss it when it's happening, right? I mean, so it's like, just, you know, it was so nice seeing all these people accumulate in the community during the bear run, and you know, I know like Brad and Jeff have seen it. It's just cool. People stick around, and those people that stuck around, if they truly put in the effort and time, their lives changed tremendously. Like, I mean, so many people just talked about like they paid off their houses, they're no longer in debt. So many good positive messages from people about learning this stuff, learning charts and trading over the past like 3 years of me doing this. So,
question, just because I'm new, so I may have missed the OXT. I'm looking at it in that Patreon setup. Is it like too late? Because it's looking like it was like 30 cents or 29 cents entry.
That was the old one. Yeah, that was like, we were the smart money, right? We were, hey, look what the smart money's doing this, dude. Now we're getting to a point where, no, it's not FOMO right now. It's just another opportunity. It's just not as good. I mean, we're trading the beginning of the book, kind of. We were able to identify kind of the beginning of the book with a Wyckoff range, and now we're just kind of a little bit deeper in the novel, and it's just, you know, stop loss, I think below like 70 cents is safe at this point.
Oh shit, I didn't see that.
Oh, I haven't posted a trade setup on it. I'm literally, we're looking at it on stream right now. Like, I haven't really put any emphasis on OXT too much until right now, and I'm seeing it, and it's like, this is it, dude. Like, once the absorption of the remaining supply is complete, which it looks like it's almost there. Why? Because you've got the 2 highs, you've got 3 lows, and you're nearing an apex. Once the fact that we're like 80+% of the way to the apex, based on Bulkowski's research, leads us to believe the probability is high that breakout's coming sooner rather than later. So, and the context isn't just an ascending triangle behavior by itself. It is the acceleration of accumulation signified by the curved line tool you can see here. So it's almost done. It's almost complete, and you can kind of tell that if you see it looking like this with the anchor points, the asset's no longer going to that curved line, like, right? It's kind of holding. So there's even more acceleration, and that's where that new trend line's right there, right? That demand line. So it's coming, man. Just don't be surprised if, like, you know, you wake up and one of these days and OXT is the front runner, the leader, and it's gone nuts and everyone's freaking out about it, you know? Just saying.
My only question is, what exchanges have OXT?
Coinbase, Binance, and others.
Binance has it? Okay, dope.
Hey, Mitch, don't forget to scroll up and look at that blueprint. There's a Mitch Ray apartment circled in red.
Where is this?
In Patreon chat. That's
oh,
the
wow.
second floor of the house.
Am I able to show this on stream?
Yeah, there's no personal information.
Well, except the blueprint of your house or whatever. I'm just kidding. That might be personal. So,
yeah, no.
So this
Mitch,
is.
you right. I'm done short XRP. Yeah. I'm gonna go over to here.
It's a guest room for Mitch Ray.
Which one? This one or this? Is it all?
Oh, it's all one little apartment. There's a kitchen and a place, and then there's a bedroom and stuff.
The red circle is where he lives, and the rest is your apartment, Mitch.
Yeah, how big is this place? How many square foot?
Including all floors,
all
and all livable space.
All of it.
4138.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. Nice size house right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people call it an in-law suite. We call it the Mitch Ray suite.
The Mitch Ray suite. All right. Well, there you go, dude. Again, we got to get the Napoleon deepfake of me, like of that NFT, framed and put on that wall or something. If it's gonna be that,
I will do it. Where do I get that?
I don't even know now. I mean, that you could. I don't know if anyone's is anyone selling one of those? There are only 5 minted, so
I'll be releasing the one of the Mitch Ray's Easter eggs come July 4th. So
someone's selling it for 3.
On it. Yeah, I'm the one that's got 4 of them, but one of them's on hold for egg. But I'll be releasing one on July 4th, and it will be at the same price that Mitch releases his July 4th NFT. So got a little something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Let's do it.
But yeah. No more seasonal NFTs till the 4th. I don't think there's a holiday in between now and then that would make sense.
Memorial Day weekend?
Memorial Day, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's next month, right? I might do one of those, yeah. See, the thing is, like making the price, having a reasonable amount, like 15, 20 or whatever, and just having it like $30, $40, could do it from Memorial Day.
NFTs is the gas fees.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's tolerable, I guess. Like, what are you gonna do, man? You could go on another platform, right?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Well,
wait a bit.
It's all about it being a very unique item, and of course, gas is going to be a problem, but I think the bigger problem's going to be not having one of them.
Not having,
I concur.
I guess.
Has anyone heard anything about Flare Finance?
Binance?
Flare Finance is going to be addressing the gas fees. It's going to be using XRP instead of Ethereum.
Well, doesn't ETH 2.0 come out soon? I thought that was going to help gas too.
I thought it was delayed a bit.
I mean, 2.0
is never coming in. July is soon.
Flare uses the Spark token, which hasn't come out yet.
In like 2016, and that's 2021 now. So I don't want to speculate on those gas things. I think there's a lot of layer 2 or like side chain things that people are working on to lower those gas fees, but Ethereum is this big ship, and it takes a long time to turn that big ship. And so, is E2 going to come out? Maybe not. Maybe. All we can do is speculate.
Cruising down the Suez Canal right
now.
Suez baby.
The engine coin addressed the ERC20 token with the Gwen gas fees, and they created the ERC 1155 token, which almost runs identically with these Gen 2 layer platforms of Matic and Pancake and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's why Engine blew up, but they had fixed their problem years ago.
This would probably be, I mean, trying to play this on the daily, having that stop at 65 cents is pretty, I mean, that's like a lot of room to work with. And that's kind of like, you can't settle for anything except the 1414 fib extension. Right, minimum. But you're thinking here that this type of parabolic action could lead it to $2.
$2 OXT would be dope.
Yeah, say 1414, 1618, and then $2.
So I'm on Binance here. So it's USDT OXT, right? That's the one I'm looking for.
USD, or yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a reasonable way to look at it. What do y'all think?
Like it.
You're playing
right. There's nothing momentum. There's nothing there between what is that 149 ish and $2.
No, nothing.
I think Coinbase Pro doesn't list it versus USDT. It's just USD only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just converted my Stellar to OXT.
Yeah, it'll take a minute, but just the way it looks is prime. Like when parabolic uptrend starts like that, it doesn't end like that, and it normally you'll get the big frothy run.
Can you imagine the FOMO once it hits like $1.30?
People aren't even gonna know it exists. Most people probably, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be crazy, like all these other ones. You know. I don't say technical indicators because of that curved line, that parabola. I don't know, man. It's so powerful. All right, so I'm gonna publication now. Better than cash, that's for sure. And it's just one of those that hasn't truly really taken off yet. You know, look at this chart on the daily, okay? And then we go to let's go to Cardano. Cardano has taken off. It's over. I mean, like it can continue, but I'm saying the big, crazy, insane markup is done, right? VeChain.
Yes.
VeChain, same thing. The big markup is complete, right? The insane run, like this is OXT, still kind of at somewhat reasonable levels, near its old all-time high, chopping around. It's probably like last point of supply stuff that OXT is doing before the insanity happened on VeChain. So, I mean, that's where we are.
Let's check Matthew D's favorite coin, Link.
It's like Cardano. It's like Cardano. It's just like, yeah, Link was another one that had its big markup last summer. The big one, you know, it had the big markup, then consolidated for a while, and it's done another big markup. And then look, it's the Gartley. It's the Gartley.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Higher highs, higher lows.
And it just doesn't look like it's stopping. It's crazy.
That's just what I say every time I pull up the chart. Higher highs, higher lows. It's an uptrend until it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's been a strong one for pretty much the entire time I've been in the crypto space. It's been there.
Yeah. One of my best friends has like 60,000 links to him.
Weird, you know, I've noticed that this stream I have no music on, and I got a copyright somehow still. Notification. It's kind of crazy. Oh yeah.
It was for Scott's voice.
Yeah, we could copyright Scott's voice.
Yeah, I got my trademark. I already had that scanned, so probably that was the automatic robots that are.
It is a
pulling
very
other videos
radio-like
off.
voice.
What, Scott's?
I'm done doing that.
Yeah.
No, he's like a college professor. That's what he sounds like.
I'm a little older than you, youngsters.
Whippersnappers.
Probably for one of your NFTs that you sold, you probably got copyright strike.
Is that it?
But we should do the
on
canary. We should trademark it.
We should. Well, it's got to play out first, right? Brad, thank you for the canvas print merchandise purchase. Enjoy it, man. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. Shout out Wayne Batson.
I will ask my guy to program it.
Wayne Batson's a pimp.
Yeah, I mean, we just need more data on the canary idea because it's real. I think DCR is doing it. Some sort of S coin or DNT. Which one is it? DCR. Yeah, look at DCR. How it's attempting that insane canary stuff, right? 116% retrace with the higher low, and it's going right. Look, this one's just been insane, man. But yeah, at the same time, it's like, yeah, maybe a rising wedge too, right? I mean, or is it just a channel? It's close, man. It's more of a wedge, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 touches on this one too. But nevertheless, our idea. Let's see if we get there. All right, here it is. There it is.
113.
Yeah, it's a little higher, but
Scott,
2619.
with the indicators, I've got to go through a lot of stuff, but like, what is the most reliable action on the oscillator? Whether it's a complex pattern on RSI or AMP RSI, or is it HSI? What's the first thing we should be looking at a pattern tweak? So.
I think just an extreme, first of all.
What
I
do
mean,
you-
really,
what do
a
you
lot of
look
people
for?
overlook that you want to see, if you're just looking at standard RSI, you want to see some kind of overbought, oversold signal.
Yeah,
you
you just
will
don't want that matter.
Divergence on the C to D wave on that H bar chart.
Yeah, on the H bar there.
It's everything together that makes it really strong. It's not one.
Yeah, it's the multiple variables that are all pointing and saying the same thing.
It's not the cake
That
batter.
RSI he's showing is, clearly turning around. That stabilized, and that broke out and will show itself before the price. And that again, that's where RSI. That guy Wells Wilder. That's the guy. I mean, he did relative strength index.
Is that Dr. RSI?
Wilder's RSI. It's in TradingView.
Oh, it's an
Yeah, that RSI at the end there. Yeah, boom, that's a ticket.
But the principle of it, where you're looking at it comparatively, and so what it's saying is, hey, we're going to show you how it's acting now versus 14 bars ago, and if there's a change, it does reflect it, and it reflects it really well at the extremes. I think you got structure, you've got the extreme or overbought, and then you can look at that as it progresses out of the zone. It's I see MACD stuff though where it's very clear too. Like once MACD clicks over,
yeah,
it's strong.
You talking about the signal line or the histogram?
The histogram, when that pops over, if you haven't cleared that, you still have some more work to do.
Yeah, and it's like how we got separation of the histogram island finally, where it like went positive and then dipped one more time and then went negative again, and that was a lower island. The previous one, that was like undeniable bullish divergence at the absolute bottom of the trading range that was manufactured March 17th. Right, never had traders settle up 1 penny lower than 29.3 cents. Right, I mean that was like the close, and then like kind of a pin bar developed too. So it was like a Japanese candlestick, somewhat. I mean the wick's a little high, but that still signifies a bullish pin bar. And how's it valid? You got to have a little wick on the top, and then you have to take the size of the candle body, and if you can double it, it's valid. If the wick, if you can double the body on the wick, then it's valid. And this probably tripled, quadrupled the size on that wick. So it, pretty good.
And the RSI confirms it pretty much with the high low on the RSI.
Yeah, and really when it got back above 30 cents, that was the ticket right there, man. That was when I took the shot.
The last kick. MACD will
tail end divergence on the RSI.
Give a lot of, and then the last RSI is like
great.
Right, let's go.
Great examples. We'll go to the daily on Bitcoin 2018.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Yeah, you should go all the way back, man. There's so many times where it was like perfect example back summer of 2018. You had all this divergence, but it kept selling off.
That was the pre-drawn inverse head and shoulders that you did a month before.
Beautiful, man, beautiful.
It was awesome.
But it was like you had all this divergence that and you're like, oh my god, and just keeps selling off. But then it hits an ice line. It hits the this was the crash from the Great FOMO, right? I mean, that was where it went to $6,000 and then eventually rallied to 11,821, right? So the context made so much more sense. And then the RSI bullish divergence on the tail end developed right there. And that was it. And it was like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, but like MK, like always just been like, it's going to zero. It's like, hold on, man. Right? At these levels, the sellers are exhausted, and that's exactly where the reversal happened, and it ran up, and inverse head and shoulder, 100% measure move achieved, and then a broadening, even on the 4 hour, there's a broadening top pattern that hit its 100% measure move, and that was it. But then we start going into Fibonacci, how it made us like a 50% 618 retrace high to low, right up there, 618, and that's what reversed. But it kept doing that. So
yeah, it kept giving you, we get great longs and then take profit and short it back. You play both sides. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really crazy traders market. Yeah, and it's just same thing.
I felt like a proper degenerate doing that to XRP today. That was fun.
What happened about XRP?
I shorted it at like 1.07 something, and then it hit the low, and then I rode it back up on a temp long, and it's still going up.
Man, good luck, man, playing the numbers game shorting on XRP at this point.
Well, it looked like it wasn't something I'd leave open quick, but I'm just trying to do little bits here, like small amounts, to see if I could. Just because I've been doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a system and a strategy involved with what you're doing, that's awesome, and it's tried and true. But if you don't, what you're doing is not going to be good for the long term.
I did all the TA before. It was like one of the first ones I actually did. It planned out, and it was also like, I expected if it did, it wasn't any big deal.
You said the first one you did, it played out and worked?
And that was just basic stuff. I looked at support resistance and stuff, and this was like, okay, it should stay in this range, and then it dipped below the resistance line, and then I was like, okay, there we go.
Yeah, one thing I noticed last night when I was looking at XRP's chart, it's still never back tested 75 cents. So I mean, it's a very real support resistance from history. Never got tested. It just went straight up to $1.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. It never did. But I don't know. I think you got to zoom in on the weekly. And on the weekly, the fact that it came back down to 37 cents and tested that is like so powerful before it rallied higher.
Growl Theory got front ran.
Yeah,
Algo started programming it. Not fair.
Yeah, Growl Theory became support. Fundamentals changed, I guess.
Yeah.
Look at that Bitcoin, man. It's just hit that February 21st high, man. Like, dude, I am so tired of 58,000 probes. I'm so tired of it.
Just living in probes land.
Yeah, man.
As soon as you texted me, it was like 5 minutes later. We're at 59,000. We're at
Bitcoin. I guess
we're back.
It's so volatile that I keep losing money on it, and I stopped. Like, I don't know enough.
This is a question for Scott, real quick. How do you figure out the hop? I saw that that you have that after the pattern completions zone, and then it seems to go up a little bit further. Like, is that a set? How do you determine where the hop is? If you're here, Scott Carney.
Oh, he shunned you, Wolf.
Before he answers,
yeah, no, I had you muted. That's all. Just had you muted. That's about really gauging the overflow. So when we, for that, generally, I've said this before, where the 1902 is something we look at with the crab pattern, and so other kind of overshoots that looks at kind of creating zones, creating reasonable overshoot, and that's just also employing the whole harmonic scale, from 1.0, 113, 127, and on up.
Yeah.
Use each level. If you've got a 113, we'll use a 127 as an overshoot. That was the general idea. But in specific patterns, like the crab and that 1902 level, that just came from experience and refinement. And I said, okay, yeah, we get great crab patterns, but a lot of times they go just beyond the 1618, and so don't be surprised and that's also a lot of times the confirmation will occur after the price action hits the 1618. So it'll hit the 1618, then reverse out of the extreme if it's RSI or something else. That's your trigger. Those are your best opportunities.
Nice. Thank you.
Do you have time for a really probably beginner question about Fibonacci? Because that was like the next thing I was looking into. I just kind of gotten the basics down, and that was the next step. Could I get like that explained what those numbers mean?
I think generally, we're all trying to measure the market. Just simply, we need a scale. Some people will look at 10%, 20%, 30%. Scale of what I say harmonic ratios are. Certain people use different numbers. I have a whole scale from 382 to 886, and then 113 up to 3618 as a way to create a spread. I think that it's effective. I mean, we know that the 1618 is really reliable when you see it in proper MW formations, but the numbers, and there's stuff on my site, there's videos that show where they all come from. It's probably good to look at that. There's a harmonic ratio webinar that I have that shows it starts with the 1618 and the 618, and then you go back from there. You do square root derivations. That's it is without getting into it too mathematically, that harmonic scale, which everyone knows now. I mean, it's funny because not many people did 20 years ago. People to throw up people were doing like 1618s and stuff like that, but a full harmonic ratio scale, that's a relatively new way to look at charts in the last 20 years. So the meaning of each number, I again refer you to the reference material, but it is cyclically and obviously empirically it works.
Yeah, it's value and premium, I think. Like, people use it to measure value and premium, right? Extensions or premium and just potential reversal points. But people are always asking, like, what is it? Is it just like is it value, or is it self-fulfilling prophecy? And it's just like, again, I mean, most people here have heard it.
Ooh.
The analogy.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from? So it comes from all of the examples in nature of cycles that terminate at their relative 1.618 or 0.618 relationships, like if it's a pine cone or a nautilus shell or whatever.
It's like just patterns that have been measured, and that's just kind of the scale they found that patterns follow that kind of number.
Yes.
Totally. This is the natural geometric cycle that is exhibited in nature. Exactly. There you go. And like Fibonacci phyllotaxis is the
like they measure fish scales on a fish that are like X number, millimeters apart or something, like the pattern of the fish scale.
Yeah, or like a shell that rotates or whatever. There's so many Fibonacci sequences you can use as an example. It's just everywhere.
That makes a lot more sense.
Except fib circles. For some reason, that doesn't work. Just kidding, but seriously.
But I don't think people realize the level of this kind of geometry that's going on in everyday world. And even the amazing thing about it of these cycles of plants and all kinds of plant species, tens of thousands of plant species exhibiting these specific geometric ratios that have proportional growth cycles of like 0.618 and 1.618. So it's a natural growth cycle. And think of it this way: if we're in a stock market move or some kind of big rally, the natural cycle of that move should take it to whatever the 1618 is. If it's like a full, think of it as like a full cycle of some kind of buying behavior. When you get up to the 1618, that's when you really start looking, because that's about the natural extent that it could go without some kind of reaction. And for me, that's why I think it works.
That's beautiful.
Now that you're saying that, like when I was going through community college, I had a philosophy of religion class, and the watchmaker's theory, I think that may be what was brought up in.
Yeah, I don't, I think I've looked at it in going way back in same patterns decades and decades ago. It's, proportionally it does work. And, I think that whole natural human cyclical behavior element follows probably some of the same behaviors that we see elsewhere. So I don't know, that 1618. If you I think that if you're new to it, I think the best way is to just look at the 1618 and 618.
And the 113, because it's 1/4 of the square root of the golden mean ratio. Boom. Anyway, I think like a more practical way to also look at it is like just normal Fibonacci, not so much the extensions. Is like what I talk about in the static video that I have, where it's there's you want to buy an asset, but it's expensive, so you want to wait for it to sell off, and so you're waiting for like a 38% sale. Okay, that's okay, but we know that that's not the best sale, right? The best sales you want are like 78% sales, 88% sales, right? And like you were talking about the tech bubble, when it crashed, what happened? What happened to tech? 88, 90% sale before value, right? Before people perceived value. Those market participants didn't want to buy until then. Same thing in 1929. Market participants did not want to buy until there was an 88% sale on the market. And what about all the harmonics, right? People don't want to buy. They don't see value unless you hit a 786 or an 886 most of the time, right? On a lot of these harmonics. Now, extensions, different, but I don't know, man. I like looking at it like that because it's just so practical and it's so easy to help people understand why reversals are happening at those levels. I think a lot's psychology. And
I have, in the short time I've been learning this, if I'm on the right track, this is just putting emotions on a graph. You are putting emotions to like a numbers game.
I mean, somewhat, yeah. It's the psychology of buyers and sellers, of course. We just talked about an OXT. Why did I like OXT? Because we understand what higher lows mean, but then we also understand what happens when higher lows are happening at a faster rate, at a more when the angle of ascent of those higher lows accelerates. That's when you understand parabola is in the midst of possibly happening, and that's why I like OXT so much, because that acceleration is only happening at a faster rate now, and all you're doing now is butting up against the highest levels of all time, meaning like price discovery soon, parabolic run happening soon, and it's up. What happened, man? It's up 3.56%. What happened? Okay, it's like starting to, nice hidden bullish divergence in the 4 hour. I didn't even see. Wow, that's incredible right there, right off the demand line. When you get that, that's a nice combination. So it's playing out.
4 hour RSI sitting right there at 60.
Yeah,
I like that too.
Oh yeah, my God, the upside potential, man. If the market participants want to get this thing going, they definitely can. Too much demand. So that's like us.
Caught that initial one last year. There was some patterns on that one last year that I caught, that huge spike move.
Yeah, I think that was the Coinbase listing, right? Maybe.
Yeah, and I think this thing is got some real nice harmonic patterns.
Oh man, it reversed that reversal down there. It was to Jesus, man. It was so good. Right. It was a think it was a Bartley. Yeah, it was kind of a little off, right? But it was your just typical XABCD. It was a little too deep on B, whatever, man. And it was an 886. So since it was too deep on B, it didn't make it where the 786 was the pattern completion zone. But that's it. That's your typical M pattern, right? I mean, they don't always have to be perfect, but look, I mean, where did the pattern develop? Look left. Old resistance support, right? December 2019, first time ever created. Then your price action only correlated to that, and then it was like, boom, right there. So you knew. And not only that, right? There was a sale on Orchid after that Coinbase listing and the crash. Look, from major low to high. What kind of sale? There just happened to be an 88% sale. The harmonic itself developed at an 88% retrace. So you're trying to tell after the major wave, you got the 886, and then you have the XABCD that in itself had an 88% retrace. An 886 on top of an 886, that's value on value, man. Like, and low risk, easy to size up. Like where to set your stop loss. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is perfect. It's beautiful. Specimen example of like really learning about what we're teaching. This is so educational. OXT. Anyway.
Yeah, really nice. I think that one's setting up for a big 1618.
Which would be at 150-ish, 149. Yep.
Yeah. Even your all-time charts look really bullish where that breaks out into price discovery. It's just...
Yeah.
It'll take time. You'll get there's plenty of time for opportunity always on these. We talk about these. They are beautiful. But, just yesterday, it gave you a phenomenal opportunity. Maybe we'll get another pullback in 2 or 3 days. It's certainly ramping. And I would look at a lot of these. That H bar is really nice too, man.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not going to hit 42 cents eventually. It's perfect. And I think it had some good news too, like on the project itself, which doesn't really matter that much. But better than not hearing anything good about it, which a lot of these projects, like Verge, like why is Verge going nuts? There's no reason. I mean, besides just money is just indiscriminately flooding into this market. And did you see the stat? I mean, someone tweeted about it, but all coins in the top 100 market cap are over $1 billion in market cap. Officially, as of tonight, I think that's a pretty big deal.
1 billion?
1 billion. Yep. All 100. At least 1 billion. Yeah. Nice one. Fibonacci on my face.
Mitch, do you have any rational reason as to why the government stopped giving us info on the M2 money supply?
Did they stop giving us info on it?
Yeah, I thought they discontinued telling us what the M2 money supply is.
Yeah, the Fed stopped updating their chart. They had like
I mean, why not? I mean, it's probably you're not a conspiracy theorist. Why would they stop? I mean, probably it's bad. It's probably not a good reason at all. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not going to answer if I don't truly know. So anyone else want to weigh in on that?
I'm not a college-educated person all that much. I didn't pass, but I've read enough history books to know how hyperinflation works.
I don't think, guys. Look, we've always been talking. It's a great subject to talk about, and it is relevant. But I think for what we do and being involved with the markets is really the place to be to take advantage of what they're doing. They're going to do no matter whatever they want to do. And for me, as a trader, I've had to detach some of my personal maybe feelings and say, okay, this is going to happen, and you're going to run a whole bunch of money into it, and whatever that result is, unfortunately, I want to make sure I come out the other side of that benefiting from it. They might ultimately create havoc, but to get from here to there, there's going to be a whole lot of asset inflation, and that has been something I've seen throughout my career. Where and you can, I mean, not say trust it, but just know that this is the only mechanism they have. And so this asset inflation is only going to continue for decades to come. And know that, look, crazy numbers on the market of like the Dow at 100,000 or the NASDAQ at 50,000, they will be realized as long as they keep pumping out trillions and trillions of dollars to literally create that money. And so if they do it, they're going to have to do it. I mean, I feel like they've got their back against the wall. We just, people that are taking their time to be into trading, where all that money will go into, and now crypto. That's the only way. I mean, I personally can't exert any energy above and beyond the trading of it. And it's no doubt something I've always considered and wondered, but after many years, we didn't crash at Y2K. We didn't crash after the financial crisis, and now COVID. That we usually come out the other side massively inflated, and that's probably what's going to happen.
Just got to ride the waves you're given.
To add on to that too, I think inflation, just as a principle, it hurts a lot less when you own a deflationary asset. I have a portion of my Bitcoin holdings are just never sell spot. They're in cold storage. It's in a safe place. This inflation stuff doesn't impact me as much because I am an owner in a piece of property that is inherently scarce. So that to me is one of the biggest tools or biggest weapons that I have to fight the system that we have to operate in.
So I know no financial advice here, but I've been thinking of moving money out from like my retirement savings. Not all of it, just a little bit of it into crypto, just because of like that. Like I think the amount of dollars we've printed was like 30 to 60% last year of the sum total of the United States.
40.
Okay, so it was up to 40. That's going to cause problems. Like you look at Weimar Germany, that gave rise to World War II, Venezuela. It's not good. And I'm like, I've done pretty well, so I was like, put it in crypto.
Brad was telling me today in PM, he was saying, what are we, since 1776, in the past year, we've added 25% of the debt to the whole, like, since the beginning of our country, so.
Yes, 25% of all debt that we've incurred was incurred in the last 12 months.
See,
that actually seems low.
Off. GameStop thing failed to hedge you. Like I paid all my debt, my wife's student loans off. Only thing I got left is the house, and we're not even sideways on it. It was a cheap house.
Yeah, the hurdle rate's 15%. So it's like if you're not growing your business by over 15% a year, like Sailor says, you're basically working your way into serfdom, essentially.
Yeah, you'll be a burger. You'll be literally a burger, dude.
McDonald's, Amazon, Apple, Google.
Did you hear about 1/3 of burgers have less than $1,000 in savings?
He's right.
Yeah, dude. Don't be a burger.
What is a burger?
What's a burger?
Dude, the Citadel. What?
It's a working.
Here, I'll show you.
What about the Citadel?
Cheeseburger.
Well, like if you're not gonna be right, like a part of the Citadel for real, you're gonna be a burger. And look, 1/3 of burgers have less than 1,000 in savings. Wojak, and he's in a cubicle. He's working that 9-to-5 slave job. The woke companies, right? They're like gonna dictate you think and act certain ways. Otherwise, you're gonna get fired. And serfdom, because it's like they keep printing money, they keep debasing our currencies, but you keep getting paid at the same rate at these jobs, at these wage slave jobs. And then, you're also your mind and thoughts are controlled too, because they'll threaten to take away your livelihood at the same time. As you can see, what's happening to companies that are being like literally hijacked by crazy Marxist I don't know, woke culture.
So burger is a paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, pretty much. I think so. Based
I'm
on
so happy
that's what I'm
you guys
thinking.
get that. I have been around so
Boomer to
many people
Zoomer.
for so long, and I keep trying to tell them it's nonsense, and they just believe the Twitter Kool-Aid.
Oh, Twitter is
Actually-
literally an echo chamber for Marxists and psycho left. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you have one side that has completely exterminated thought. Like, they've gotten rid of anyone who thinks a different way. They're gone. Now it's an echo chamber of one side.
Man,
It's
I
Twitter.
can tell you why, as a millennial, this happened, and at least my thoughts. We got sold the lie that you're gonna have to go to college or you're gonna be a burger. Well, you got $40,000 in debt, and you're still a burger flipping burgers.
No, I mean, like, at this point, you don't even have to be flipping burgers. You can have, like, a modest job making 35, 40K a year, and you're going to be a slave. Because that doesn't get... The velocity of money is at all-time lows, like, every single day.
IT bubble popped.
If you work
the
for
new
another man,
butt burger is IT people.
Their biggest issue is that they're squeezing them out of home ownership now.
Like, I've been in IT for like 10 years. What did you say about IT?
I was saying that IT is kind of the newest generation of burgers.
I do.
You're outsourcing all jobs to H-1 visas, right?
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the population's so uneducated, we can't get people certified to do the job here, so they import it and export it. Yeah.
Hey, managers at In-N-Out make 6 figures.
50K a year. I can tell you at the large nightclub I used to work at in San Francisco, most of the clients that I had whose IDs I had to check were passports.
Man, like, I live in the Midwest. Like, the housing there is ridiculous. I own a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath. I pay $700 mortgage payment.
It's my electric bill. Fuck.
Like, my house cost me $100,000.
Dude, 879 square foot condo in San Diego, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,700.
I was mad when I was paying $750 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Mitch, how's your kitchen coming along? Can you build the dream for us? What it's going to be like?
I mean, it's going to be wonderful, man. I mean, no expense spared on it. Waiting on the materials to come in. Should take 6 to 8 weeks, but I mean, we're about a week and a half in, so I'm hoping it comes in soon. There's other stuff my contractors started working on Monday, so like the ball is really rolling now, like finally, and 3
Has
months.
the interior designer done their stuff?
The blinds, she said, are gonna be all. I spent like $11K on blinds.
I know.
She said they'll be in soon, and she's just like, just keep me posted.
I forget like Bodas break out another 1,000. There's something for interior designers. You're getting
What are they, remote controlled or something?
Yeah, they're remote control, Wi-Fi application. I mean, it's like top end stuff. So, but I have 26 windows, so that's what's crazy. My place is so unique. It's just like there's a view of each part of the city. I bought like half the floor pretty much. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of windows. It's gonna cost a lot, especially like they got the aluminum in them, so it like blocks out like UV and stuff. So greenhouse doesn't really happen. All that, So just
that's really not that crazy for blinds though. Like it sounds crazy, but
11K.
Gavin Crom paid for half.
Yeah, he did. Well, if Bitcoin hits 65K sometime this month, then he might be paying for all of them, the whole freaking kitchen renovation, right?
I think he said 75K.
He said something like doesn't matter if it hits 65K, he's gonna come to top Jesus over Bitcoin Casino. So
Mitch, tell us about freedom. What's it like to be free?
I don't know. A lot of people in here are free, but
great.
Yeah. Well, I'll be officially free tomorrow.
I'm married, so yeah, you lose a little there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Give up some in a kid.
Yep, chips away at your freedom, but in other ways,
there's other great parts of it, though.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. But out of being free is interesting. You gotta get a lot of free time, and that's what you're going for, man. You're like working so you can live a lifestyle of you can do whatever you want whenever you want. So if you want to have a kid and a wife, boom. If you want to, and then you can spend so much time with that wife and kid and really just strengthen those relationships. Where a lot of people, you know, they get a wife and a kid and they work a 9 to 5 and they don't have near as much time to invest in their family.
A functioning child that doesn't have, you know, traumas.
Yeah, well, I mean, the end goal for the male is to have enough resources to where the wife can certainly just take care of the child and doesn't have to work throughout all that. So, I mean, that's definitely the most alpha goal I think you could have.
American dream.
Yeah, I don't think you would want to.
Don't push that one.
Don't
too hard. Though.
No, I'm hoping I'm on speaker over at your place right now.
See, that's the thing.
You'll get some pushback on that one.
Have you guys seen the like?
What?
The
Yeah,
right
doesn't.
woman will fight back.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, it's like, come on, what woman's gonna fight back on that? It's like, that's what we evolved doing, right? I mean, the man.
Yeah, but she's also reached a point where she doesn't do shit and makes fuck ton of money.
Well, that's. She did the right things.
She's kind of like,
she made a good choice.
I've made it, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Well, that'd be nice to meet someone like that.
Maternity leave for fucking 2.5 years.
You could do the same thing though. Like the choices you made in life have allotted you the ability to do whatever you want whenever you want. So I mean, it sounds like y'all have similar paths.
If I get the okay, yeah, no.
That's the best part of my life is spending it.
Like the other part, I wish
just chilling.
Yeah, that's why it's so tough. Like finding someone because you're like, oh man, you know, hey, this girl's really hot, but dang, she has nothing going on in her life. I can't do it. Like it's just, I gotta find someone comparable.
And take half your money and all your house.
Yeah, they could do that either way, though. They could do that if they were successful too.
Psychology, and she's super smart and helps me get through a lot of stuff. It's really helpful.
Hey, I'm finally the breadwinner for once since I met you, Mitch. My wife does anesthesia, so it's
Ooh.
Trading, yeah, good month. So
that's why I married a doctor.
Right.
My
that's
wife
flexing too, because of anesthesia. It's not
Dude,
just
that's like
any
top.
doctor.
That's the top doctor, right? Kind of maybe.
That's the top paid doctor. Yeah.
What do they make? Do they make like $1 million a year? 800 a year?
580 some thousand is the average across the country.
So yes, the top end one are like gonna get up to the millions.
Hey, I'll just put it this way: I went in and negotiated a contract at our role.
At your what?
At our.
You keep cutting out as soon as you say it. So at our.
Dude, yeah, I have the worst reception.
And there it is again.
Troll, dude.
Every time.
And then I negotiated a contract for exactly this amount of.
Where do I put it?
It's, I don't know what's up with the mics. If someone's playing a joke, this is the greatest long con in history. If someone just has a button to turn off this there's like 4 people that every time, right when they get to the peak of their story, it just cuts out.
If only we had to hold a button to talk.
That gif of
Dude,
Biden smelling
333
mint.
guy,
Oh my
what are
God.
you doing, man? That's psycho weird. Like, what does that even mean?
You guys seen the
Like,
one where he's like, people?
dude, 33 guy, that's like super weird. Really?
It's a dating profile app.
It's Sauron's eyes. That's what that is.
Hey, Mitch, you think you're gonna make it up to Toyota Field and see the trash pandas?
Is this in Miami? What are we talking about here? What,
No,
Sorry.
it's in Huntsville.
It's in Huntsville?
Man.
Oh,
it's in
yeah.
Toyota Field.
I didn't even know y'all had a new toy. I don't keep up with Huntsville current events, my bad. I don't even keep up with Birmingham current events too much, sorry.
Yeah, it's the new the baseball stadium.
So, I mean, I could. I need to see, like, my buddy, go up and spend a weekend with him. It's just crazy, man. What I do, like I stream like 7 days a week. I'm like kind of addicted to it, but I feel like I could obviously travel anywhere and do this stuff. It's just like there's just something about this battle station. I feel so comfortable.
It's gonna be so weird traveling because I've been on your travel battle station.
Yeah. Well, you're
now
not
comparative because you haven't done it since
I did it. I went to Florida last
Florida.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you like travel ever? Because
I used to travel frequently.
I've been watching. You haven't taken a day off.
I used to have even when I travel, I stream. So I used to do something called traveling TA. And then I would occasionally, like on every stream, I'd try to do like one IRL stream, like where I'm actually like, not on the charts. Like I'm out and I'm like hanging out with members of the community and we're talking and drinking and just cutting up. Remember the bats in Austin, right? And I was like, the moon was big and I was like doing the Dragon Ball Z thing.
Yes, I remember.
Oh man,
Mitch,
that moon boy's boat in the canal.
The scrub bats in Texas. I like the Starbucks TA. And
oh yeah,
music
dude.
in the background.
Yeah, all my power and internet went out because of like nasty storms last year, and like I had to go to freaking Starbucks. Yeah, dude, I travel. It's just to me when I'm streaming, I don't feel I don't know. I feel kind of naked without. I'm like addicted to all these monitors and this computing power. It's just so hard. Like I have it like top of the line laptop, but dude, when you got a Threadripper and like the best graphic encoder that money can buy, and just like all the RAM, it's just tough, man. You get really spoiled, and you're like, ugh.
I think it's gotten even more difficult since COVID.
What, traveling or
just coping with traveling for the streaming?
Oh, I haven't really left. I haven't traveled much. Like I've gone on like one vacation since COVID, like one, literally, and it was Florida. That was it, and it's been a while. So my next one's gonna be Miami. So that's the big one, man. Scott Carney and me,
After Miami, you should come to Mexico.
Yeah, maybe, or you come to America. How about that? Meet in Vegas.
You guys going to the after parties or what?
Yeah, of course. Who would not go to the after parties? That's the question. Who's going to this thing and not going to the after parties?
Yeah, tell me how I learned more about the Miami trip.
I don't know if you're still raging like your Bama days, dude, but I love the sound of that. Let's go.
I mean,
yeah, I'm pumped now.
Like we're going. It's gonna be fun.
What is this again?
What?
So what day is this meetup again?
3rd through the 5th of June. But I might be going down like on the 2nd or something and staying like until like Monday or something of the next week. Just because, I mean, like, what's the, go, and I would like to get there before all the festivities and then leave after all the festivities. And like, I'm not gonna want to travel on Sunday hungover, so have a day to rest and relax and maybe go do something quiet, eat, sightsee, and then leave on Monday. So.
What hotel are you staying at?
I haven't figured that out yet. It's been a pain because I don't even know who's going that I'm staying with. Like, I know Brad's coming. I don't know about Logan. I think Seth's going. Jeff can't go. So the inner entourage is like, I think 3 of the 4 of the 5 if Seth goes.
Mitch,
But
you go to Miami, I might make it there for the Bitcoin 2021. And I can probably even organize a yacht party to meet up with other patron members.
a yacht party would be lit, man. That'd be insane. I'm bringing a friend, one of my new friends who I met here, who we have a lot of commonalities, where he's like an entrepreneur and he's successful and all that, and he doesn't work a 9 to 5. It's so nice. Like, it's just so tough meeting those people. You realize, like, other people that live different lifestyles. Like, all my friends, like, wives, they have kids, they work those traditional jobs, right? Their time is extremely limited, so I barely had time to see them. But met this other guy, and he's going with me. We're going down to Miami together, so I'll get to introduce him to all of y'all and stuff. So yeah, So I'm saying like a yacht party would be awesome. Like where everyone everyone gets their own ride down there. Everyone, figure out your own lodging. But we have a meetup on one of the days. Like we have our own mid-trade TA thing.
I want to start looking at my schedule and everything. And I have a house in Miami, and I have a yacht there, but it's for only like about 12 people who would fit in it.
You hearing
I have
this?
a friend
All right.
that he rents yachts for big parties, like 40 people yachts, and I'm gonna talk to him about it.
You should certainly see what he can do for us. All right. Does he have a company? I mean, I can.
Yeah, his company. Give me one. I'll give you. Oh, the Black Pearl Experience is the name of the company.
Black Pearl Experience. See, I could
Find it
like.
on Instagram, and it's actually also on the internet. Yeah,
The www World Wide Web. Cab up. Oh, Black Pearl Experience. Is this it? Experiences. Luxury villas, yacht charters. Let's go. Exotic cars. Oh my God,
That's the one. Yep,
this is it, dude. So we could rent this thing out for the people that want to come. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. That was something I wanted to do, but it's just where to begin and coordination. It's really tough because I have very little experience doing this stuff. It was kind of an S show in Vegas, right, Jeff? Like with just the rooms, and it was good though because you had experience there, you had a contact, and y'all kind of all got it set up to where I didn't have to do much. Like that was nice. So
except
help you set up everything, Mitch.
What's
You don't
up?
really have to worry. I could help setting up everything. You don't really have to worry about it. Also, get a good price if we need to rent a yacht. The owner of the company is a really good friend of mine from Spain.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's definitely probably be good. If you want to get in contact with Brad, I'm definitely, of course, you're my Matthew McConaughey. So
Send me a message on Discord.
yeah, and so y'all can get started on that. Because it's got to start somewhere, and I definitely want to do something kind of special down there. That we're gonna do the Bitcoin meetup and stuff, but it's like also something else that's fun, and it's like related to our success of our community and anyone that is in the community that wants to go down there. I mean, you get down there, you're just gonna come up to us, and we're just gonna hang out and do this thing, party, like work hard, play hard. I've been working hard for 3 years and have not been playing hard at all in the past half of it. Past year and a half, man, it's just been no play. One vacation, right? So
You play hard, Mitch.
We're about to go harder than Iron Bowl tailgate. Let's go.
Are you going?
Yup,
Mizzou?
I'll be there. Yup.
All right. Okay. Good. So just one thing I say for all the people that I'm broadcasting to, just don't be weird. Okay? Don't be weird.
Yeah, if you're weird, don't even come.
Yeah. If you think you're weird, just I don't know, man. Like you can like be shy and quiet or whatever, but just don't like do anything. Dude, it's like okay, 333 guy comes in. He's like he's typing in TTS today about, hey, could I like join as Mitch Ray or can I join as Mitch? It's like okay, what? Why are you even saying that? And then your first thing you ever say in the Patreon chat is this, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, where's the social awareness? 333 guy. I mean, like, what's going on? Like, that's stuff. Like, don't bring that to Miami. Like, just. Right? I mean, I'm just saying. Like, put yourself in my situation if you're doing that.
Yeah, just leave Miami like that because you probably will.
I could do stuff like that, man, but I've got too many years sober on me to do shit like that anymore. I can't. Want to, but I can't.
What if like you just get too drunk and you start acting weird?
Stay at home.
I don't know, man. Like there was a time to learn how to act drunk, and that was in college, right? You haven't figured it out by now. I don't.
Past college, come on.
What if you're still in college though?
Well, then it's
Drink a
fair.
bunch
Then
of
it's
Mad
okay. Then it's okay. Then people are going to be empathetic if you're still in college and you come to this thing and you get drunk and rowdy. Dude, I mean, like, we're all drunk and having a good time, like, whatever. But there are just certain things, all right, that it's just social awareness is a prerequisite to joining us and having a good time, I guess. So. I don't understand. Anyway, I think Scott would agree with me on that.
Yeah, guys. Hey, I'm actually Mitch. I'm gonna roll out. All right. Everybody have a great night. It's been a lot of fun. Talk about Miami soon.
Yeah, man. Scott, you gonna go on the yacht with us, dude?
Yeah, we will definitely talk about that. And I think we need to line up a nice meetup spot. Something really stylish, like a Ritz-Carlton or something on the beach, and so we should talk about that. Make it really quality, and do it one of the nights. It's coinciding with the Bitcoin event, but we'll talk about it and we'll talk more. So I appreciate it, though.
Talk to your people down there, your contacts.
Yeah,
if you got them.
I'll talk to you about what he told me. So, but
right.
We'll talk this week and maybe get some details down.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Everyone, have a great night.
Sleep well.
See you, Scott.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Scott.
Take care, Scott. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.
Got it.
So yeah, man, I don't know. We've been live 2 hours now. Jeez. Time.
Is this how long these things normally last?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, just about. They're on average about an hour and a half, 2 hours. These Patreon night streams. We haven't had a long one in a long time.
What's a long one?
Shit, I mean, there have been ones before that have gone to 5 a.m., but that's like one out of all of them, 2 out of all of them, so.
Yeah, when there's a lot of drinking and partying, they will go pretty long.
Yeah, there's been no spinners except for me. Come on, people.
It's like really late in the evening for spins. So
yeah,
really
I feel bad. Like you've had like 2 chugs on several nights, and then like night over.
Well, dude, if I'm not producing requests, I'm not producing value.
I feel bad.
So.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for making you chug too, and then it's like, all right,
and that's it.
We're going night.
It's all good. It's you're not gonna have them. I mean,
worst
thing that happens, I don't drink beer. Oh no, I'm so screwed.
We drinking vermouth and whiskey.
There'll be plenty of drinking in June. That's real.
Did you get that Tesla tequila or whatever it is?
It hasn't come in yet.
Tesla tequila was actually prohibited to be sold here in Mexico because of it doesn't.
Oh my god.
Because of the name.
I figured because tequila and agave, right?
I got a fun 6.5 hour flight ahead of me.
Hey man, that's what I've been doing. This is your first time over on this side, man. I would keep going over
I've
to
been
y'all.
to the East Coast, just not Florida.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, of our ventures, the Mitch Ray TA ventures, it's always been me going west. You're coming east now.
Brad, that's 3 movies, dude. It's gonna
you live in
great.
fucking Alabama.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, though, of course, man.
True. That's like you complaining that you have to take 3 flights to get in.
No one's complaining. It's just an observation. It's just me talking. It's the conversation.
Once me and Brad get all the details for the yacht or whatever events we want to do in Miami,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna talk to my mom. She owns a mezcal company here in Mexico.
What is that?
Mezcal.
Mezcal. Really good tequila. No, mezcal. It's tequila.
Mezcal is a kind of tequila. It's not really a tequila. It's made of different agaves. We produce it ourselves, and I'm gonna try to see if I can convince her to make a limited edition or something.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Mid-Ray TA, and take it
Dude,
to the yacht party.
I'll give $500 for every sip you take, Mitch.
Oh god. I'll be rich, but I'll be vomiting.
1,000 for every sip.
I'll drink it, but I'll be vomiting.
Yeah.
It's a good
It's worth it.
mezcal. So it's not one of those you want to be chugging. It's one of those you want to be sipping and enjoying.
No,
Yeah.
if it was special edition, I wouldn't open it ever. It would be like it'd be next to my Tesla bottle. You know what I'm saying? It's like a conversation piece. It's nice. It's like you don't open those.
I'd make sure to make you an extra one, Mitch.
And we can NFT one too. Or something. I don't know. NFT. The answer to anything is making something. It's NFT it. Whatever.
Yeah,
NFT
pour
it.
it all into different shot glasses, and then we'll all take a whole bottle in one shot.
Yeah. No. Actually, the brand's actually really special. There's a brand here in Mexico really famous called Pineda Cobalin. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows about it. And one of the owner of Pineda Cobalin, Cristina Pineda, is actually the one that designed the bottle. So I can even ask her to design a special bottle for the Bitcoin Mitra ATA meeting.
Well, that would be awesome, dude. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay. But man, it's a great thought. And if it happens, wow, like above and beyond. But just know if it can't happen, if it's too much, then hey, man, happy to just go down and party. But yeah, man, that's a great thought, and I'll look forward to it if it happens. But no expectations, because I don't want to get my hopes up. Because it sounds like a lot of work, and stuff.
That'd be epic, though.
I'm gonna be in contact with Brad, and gonna see how many people we'll be expecting and everything. I'm actually already checking for flights to Miami, so.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Well, the more the merrier. I don't know how much these yachts can hold people. Probably a lot, right? Not the personal one, but the one from his company.
Friends yachts. Damn, he has yachts from 10 people till like 40 people. He has like mega yachts and everything for friends.
Yeah, most of the huge ones are done. They go down to they go down south. Like there's a lot of stuff already booked for the summer, for like the big ones that hold like 40 plus people. Do you have what they sleep in what you can, have people out on the deck having drinks and stuff.
Yeah, that's a big problem. The rules, the maritime rules about how many people, life vests, safety, everything.
Yeah.
That's what pretty much.
Well, that's what you're paying
Rent
for,
a
so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just go and as the consumer, and you pay money, and then everything's handled.
I hate that it comes back to it, but I can look into it. I think you can rent out the casino boats because they have insane capacity.
Jeez, casino.
And then you go for like 6 hours.
Just buy a cruise ship.
You go into international waters. They have gambling, and then you come back.
Oh yeah.
Everything comes back to gambling with me. Yeah, it's.
So if we get a gambling boat, you can come.
We have
I'd probably fly in for the 6 hours.
Yeah, dude.
Hard Rock Casino.
Romo's jet, dude.
It'd probably be. My host would be like, "All right, we'll fly you out. I'm going to golfing. I'll be back."
Speaking of
12-hour trip.
Golfing.
Have you seen the casino that Decentraland is making or whatever? It's basically like a casino in cyberspace.
Oh, they're stealing Fun's idea, huh?
Dude, what happened to Fun
Fair?
I wanted to play in that fucking place.
I don't know. It sounds like Mana's gonna take over all that dream.
Yeah, there's no house, and basically, like, all the participants get what essentially the house would get. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's kind of like the rough idea of it or whatever. Seems pretty cool.
Let's go, XT, man. What a nice start
So
for
if
now.
you're owner of Mana and a gigantic whale comes in, you could lose everything you own.
I don't even
Some
know,
dude
man.
comes in betting
Lose all your
5 million
land.
hand and Baccarat.
What are they gonna do? They're just coming in.
You want
bulldoze.
some house covering the
Virtual
that side of it.
protests, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
They come in with the bulldozers and are standing in front of the virtual bulldozers, and they run over you and kill you. It's like, no. Anyway,
you can't take my house.
It's like, oh yeah, we can. We actually have the keys, sir.
I'm gonna shoot you with my virtual gun. Like, all right.
But I had NFTs in my house.
Control Alt Delete. You're gone. Holy fuck, that's funny.
Dude, OXT is about to do this pseudo partial decline or something, right? That candle high close, highest one ever, August 15th of last year, right? You hit it, you up thrusted, you sold off, made a higher low, and now you're about to touch it again. Dude, I'm telling you, that's kind of partial decline stuff. Thinking out loud here, okay? So we see this 85% chance, we might have a real high chance of a breakout, dude. Terminal accumulation. Anyway.
He'll be going for another 3 hours just because OXT just skyrockets all of a sudden.
Alright, I'm taking off. Have a good night, everyone.
Later, DGB. Matthew DGB.
See you, Matthew D.
GB.
Matthew D. GB.
Alright, so we could wake up to... probably, Brad. I'll probably get a bodyguard or something. I mean, it's probably not going to cost much to have someone just walk around. I mean, like, why not? You know, like, dude... It's like, oh my god, it's so arrogant to do that. It's like, really, dude?
No, especially that weekend. I 100%
I would totally. Yeah, there's nothing arrogant about it. I would definitely.
Sure, Brad, do it. Do it. See if he's available. We actually have a bodyguard in our who's former military in our community who would probably do it. So.
Plus, they can do it. They can do it discreetly. You know, they're just there with you. And
Yeah.
They don't have to be loud about it. That's the whole point. You know.
But it's just gonna be, people are gonna know that, but why is this guy not drinking? Why is this guy always sober, just hanging out with his hands, you know, on his arms, you know, like, just kidding.
Good bodyguards.
In his coat. He's wearing a coat in Miami. There's the giveaway.
He's carrying an AR.
Good ones can be
There you
very...
go, Brad, sure.
There's gonna be bought a new AR, and there's no ammo to shoot, and I want to shoot it so bad.
I did that last weekend. I shot a lot of ammo.
I need 5.56 or 2.3, but
You're better off getting 223, man. 5.56 use cost is terrible now. It's not even worth it. 223 is so much cheaper online.
well, I had a bunch of rounds, and my thing is like, if I had the amount of ammo I had last year, and I knew about the fucking panic buying, I'd have about half a bitty.
Do you load your own or do you buy?
You know, it's so cheap, man. I live out in the sticks. I just go bang bang rat-a-tat-tat.
That bake, baby. Woo! Beautiful.
It's like $1.
Beautiful.
Can I ask a gun question?
I don't know, can you?
Well, I was being polite.
Well, if you're polite, you'd be saying, may I? May I ask a gun question? That's what I'm saying. That's the joke, dude. When someone says can, it's like what an old like kindergarten teacher would say, or fifth grade teacher. When you're like, can I go to the bathroom? I don't know, can you? May I go to the bathroom, ma'am? Yes, you may. Right? I don't know.
May I?
Yeah, it's mother may I.
I
Mother
actually
may I.
bought, so I've been new to like actually having money, and like as I research this more and more, like this is made to fuck people over, and it just made me mad. But I bought a 1911. That was like my dream gun. Like the more money than it's since purchased your first one, mine was a 1911, and it's fun.
What brand?
Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, I have a Kimber. Yeah, they're
6 hour all day, baby.
I don't like them actually. They're
So-
very cool looking guns, but I hate,
all
they,
chatter,
I hate
like-
shooting them.
I only have one hand, so I have a really developed left hand, and that gun, as heavy as it is in the 45, I can put, you know, center mass, tight spread, 30 yards away.
They held so few rounds that I think that was the first turn off, and then just shooting them, even target shoot. I guess I got so good at other ones, but even the one that I'm praying the most with is not like my preferred gun. SIG is my preferred.
Honestly, I hate
all
those
day,
small
man, all day.
Glocks. They have too much.
Glock
little,
is-
they
is
kick.
what I'm-
They're not kick. They're really poppy. I don't know. They go. I don't know.
Well,
Like that 1911 45 kicked less than the freaking my buddy's like little Glock that holds 6
Oh.
rounds.
yeah, Glock is polymer. The weight is, you have a steel slide with, polymer plastic on the bottom. So, but you can put a Glock underneath the dirt for 30 years and pull it out and fire it, and it's going to fire every time.
Exactly. huge mud cake puddles on it will fire.
Yeah, like
Didn't you all get a yeet cannon? I almost got a yeet cannon, but it goes into the wife. I was like, "You don't need another gun." I'm like, "Yes, I do. It's my medicinal pew pew dispenser. It helps with anxiety."
Always need at least 2 more guns.
I got an LWRC this week. M16. That's pretty sick.
What? An actual 16?
LWRC M16.
An actual M16 though.
Did like with the giggle switch?
Now you guys got me questioning it. I'm a gun newbie, but yeah, LWRC M16, or I'm sorry, M61C. I'm sorry, M61C.
Giggle switch, does it go pew or does it go pew 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 pew?
I want to say pew.
Meaning 3-round burst or full auto.
Yeah, it's is it semi-auto or is it automatic?
It's not legal.
He says
it's
it's
automatic.
He says it's an M1C, not an M16. So
Okay.
Sorry,
There's the
guys.
answer to that.
Sorry.
Also, the other way to look at the question is, did you have to sit down in front of a federal agent with a light in your face asking a lot of questions?
Oh my goodness. So of that. Right when COVID happened, I was watching Reddit, just gun forums. Somebody put a thing out there and they called him keychain. And it was a bottle opener in the shape of a lightning link. And they were 3D printed, and they just put it up on Reddit. It had 700,000 like. Was hilarious. I fully condone. Don't do that. If anybody's listening.
Don't
I got
actually do that.
450 Kasul Raging Bull. That's a pain in the ass to shoot.
I'm
I
actually
got a vector
in,
that I still haven't got to shoot yet.
I'm in the GunCat group that released the recent Scorpion CZ Evo, and we know a lot of details about the guy that was 3D printing the coat hanger. It didn't end well for him.
Oh, so was that the guy that put it on Reddit before they eat it? I just thought it was funny.
No, he actually had a website and a business and an address and sold thousands of them. And when they came and they rated them, all of the customer lists were obviously downloaded. So
they don't
getting a visit.
Wow.
All right, y'all. I think I'm out of here. Just gonna get some sleep. It's late over here, so good stream. Yeah, 2 hours 12 minutes. So
Thank you, Mitch.
yeah, thank y'all for the support. I really appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all keep the community going. So yeah, thanks to all the new patrons and the patrons that have been around supporting this channel before it was cool. All y'all. So thanks again. I am very grateful. All right.
Thanks, Mitch. Fucking legend.
Be good.
OXT.
OXT, let's go. Alright, chat. So, hope y'all enjoyed the Scott Carney Patreon stream session. These are a lot more relaxed. So, let's look at OXT. Let's see if it moons. H-bar. Eventually, Adam. Adam looks amazing soon, right? I think Adam's setting up for higher prices. And Bitcoin's got to break where it's at right now. Like, it's at, dude, critical areas on Bitcoin, dude. Like 4 hour, it's got to break it, but it already has. It bullishly engulfed on the daily. It's above the highest point where traders set it up February 21st. Very good. Very good. This could be this engulfing candle, man. We get some volatile price action. It could take us to all-time highs, so we'll see what happens. All right. All right. I'll be back. Till next time, respect the T. A.
Bruh.
Hey, Ollie, man. Thanks for 1776. Let's go to America. Boom. Kings. Peace.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei!
And then, just like that,
Adios, turd nuggets.